Yesterday I buried my 181st human being killed because of gang violence. His name was Richard. He was born the week that I arrived at Dolores Mission 27 years ago, so I knew him his whole life. Here at Homeboy Industries, we always want to be anchored in the truth of who you are, which is to say, arriving at the sure and certain knowledge of seeing yourself as God does. There's that truth. But there's also the truth about, sort of what the gang thing was about. I call it coming to terms. So here at Homeboy Industries, we anchor ourselves in the two refusals. We refuse to demonize a single gang member. We refuse to romanticize a single gang. Remember, years ago, I went to Oxnard to speak to a whole bunch of high school seniors who were Chicano seniors who were like the best and the brightest. I spoke for the keynote address. I had 3 homies with me. And then we broke up into these small groups, so a homie in each group and myself in a group. And as we were driving home, one homie was just completely disgusted. He was a guy named Juan. He said, "I cannot even believe that." I said, "What?" "Well, my group, they talked as if gangs are all bad." I'm all ears. Fire away. "Well, in the projects, we pick up litter." I said, "First of all, nonsense. Second of all, seriously? Are you serious?" I remember once I was, it reminded me of Felipe Esparza in one of his stand-up routines where he says, "Gangs aren't all bad, they carpool." I remember once I was at a conference that I was going to speak on gangs here in LA, and the mayor opened the conference, and we were all sitting out at tables, and it was a breakfast thing, and he referred to gangs as terrorist groups. And when he finished, a gang member at the table went, "I can't even believe that he called gangs terrorist groups." I said, "Well, I'm going to go for it. I don't know. For more than a quarter of a century, I've lived in a highly impacted gang neighborhood. Name something, a person, a group, an entity, anything that's caused more terror in my community than the gangs at war there. Just name anything. Earthquakes? Osama bin Laden? Ku Klux Klan? Dirty cops? Poverty itself? No. There's nothing that's caused more terror in the community where I live than gangs. That's the truth. We lose a lot if we sacrifice the truth. We don't want to sacrifice the truth. Because it's about real terror and people being scared and anxious and feeling a sense of dread. It's about unspeakable grief and heartache that never goes away. That is the truth about gangs. It's important for us to anchor ourselves in the truth always. And that's part of the recovery here at Homeboy Industries, where you come to terms with what was that about, and you acknowledge how hollow and empty and shallow it was. That's the truth. And now community, real community, trumps gang. Real community trumps gang. So when I went to visit Richard's family, what a nice kid, and his sister brought me into his room where he had a lockbox, kind of a strong box with a key, and she opened it, and in it he had put all these prayers. Seemed like a curious thing to lock away. Holy cards and pages written out of prayer books. It was a whole little stack of them. He locked them up for safekeeping. And one of the prayers had written at the bottom of this page, "We conquer by continuing." And I think that's right. You're here at Homeboy, you just choose to do the next right thing. You anchor yourself in the truth that you're exactly what God had in mind when God made you. And you don't romanticize the gang past. You say, yeah, it really brought unspeakable harm. That's okay. You conquer by continuing on the path you're on. But you never sacrifice the truth, because that keeps you honest, and it keeps you here, and it keeps you in this community that welcomes you and accepts you and loves you. We conquer by continuing. So today, we do the next right thing, and we do it together. Amen.